Money is not just paper or coins or numbers in a bank account. It is energy. And like all forms of energy, it flows toward clarity, confidence, purpose, and action. If you want to become a money magnet, you must shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. This transformation does not begin with your bank balance. It begins with your belief system. The thoughts you repeat about money shape your reality with it. If you constantly think you're broke, you'll feel broke. If you believe money is hard to get, you will subconsciously push it away. But when you start believing you are worthy of wealth and that money can flow easily into your life, the energy around you begins to shift. Asterisk money is energy. It flows where belief and purpose meet. This truth is at the heart of becoming a money magnet, because money is not just a physical object or a number on a screen. It is a response, a reflection, and a result. It reacts to the way you think, feel, and act. If your belief system is full of fear, doubt, and lack, then the energy of money will avoid you, not because you are unworthy, but because you are not aligned with it. But when you bring strong belief and a clear purpose into your financial journey, you create a magnetic pull that draws opportunities, success, and wealth into your life. Belief is the foundation of everything. If you don't believe you can have more or do more or become more, you won't even try. Belief is what turns dreams into action and action into results. When you believe, money flows to you and you're open to receiving it. You start seeing possibilities where others see problems. You start moving forward when others stay stuck. Belief allows you to operate from faith rather than fear. And this shift changes everything. But belief alone is not enough. It needs to be paired with purpose. Purpose gives your belief direction. When you know why you want wealth, your energy becomes more focused. You're not just chasing money, you're building something meaningful. Maybe it's to give your family a better life. Maybe it's to build a business that helps others. Maybe it's to free yourself from financial stress so you can live with peace. Whatever your purpose is, it fuels you, it keeps you going when things are hard, and it sends a powerful signal to the universe that you're ready to receive and ready to grow. Money flows to those who know why they want it, not just because they want to be rich, but because they have a mission behind the desire. When your money goal is backed by real purpose, your energy becomes irresistible. People feel it, opportunities respond to it, and the universe supports it. The more intentional you are, the more magnetic you become. When belief and purpose combine, you stop operating from survival mode and start moving with intention. You're no longer reacting to life, you're creating it. You make decisions based on where you want to go, not where you've been. You stop waiting for money to save you and start showing up as someone who knows how to use it wisely and impactfully. This is when your financial journey transforms from struggle to strategy, from stress to strength. Think of belief as your inner engine and purpose as your GPS. Without belief, you can't move. Without purpose, you don't know where you're going. Both are essential to becoming a money magnet. People who lack belief stay small. People who lack purpose get lost. But when you bring both together, your financial energy becomes unstoppable. You walk with clarity, you speak with confidence, and you act with courage. It's important to understand that belief isn't just about positive thinking. It's about deeply knowing you are capable of earning, managing, and multiplying money. It's trusting yourself to learn what you need to learn and grow where you need to grow. It's choosing to rewrite the story you've told yourself about wealth. Maybe you were raised in a household where money was always tight. Maybe you've experienced failure or rejection in the past. Maybe you've felt guilt for wanting more. These experiences shape your beliefs, but they don't have to define them. You can choose a new belief. You can choose abundance. And when you combine that belief with purpose, something powerful happens. Your decisions become more aligned with your goals. You say no to distractions and yes to discipline. You invest in things that grow you, not things that drain you. You focus on adding value to others because you know that money follows service. You build habits that support wealth instead of sabotage it, and all of this becomes easier, not because you're forcing it, but because you're fueled by something deeper than just a desire for cash. This is where the energy of money begins to shift around you. You'll notice how the right people show up, how ideas begin to flow, how unexpected opportunities begin to appear. This isn't coincidence, this is alignment. Money comes when your energy is clear, your purpose is strong, and your belief is solid. If any one of these is missing, the flow gets blocked. But when all three come together, the current of abundance becomes natural and powerful. It's also important to be consistent. Belief and purpose are not one-time decisions, they're daily practices. Every morning you must remind yourself of your worth. Every day you must reconnect to your why. And with every step you take, you must act as someone who expects to succeed. Because money is not impressed by desperation, it is drawn to confidence. Confidence rooted in belief and guided by purpose. So when you begin to think this way, you stop chasing money and start attracting it. Chasing is exhausting. It comes from a place of lack. It says, I need this or I'll fail. But attracting is empowering. It says, I already have the value within me, and I'm creating space to receive what's meant for me. This shift in energy changes how you approach everything. You work smarter, you speak differently, you negotiate with certainty, and most importantly, you stop playing small. You begin to realize that becoming a money magnet isn't about luck, it's about energy. It's about becoming the kind of person that money trusts, the kind of person who uses wealth to build, not to boast, the kind of person who stays grounded in purpose no matter how much they earn. This is how lasting wealth is built. And this is how you become a magnet for more money. Doesn't solve every problem, but it gives you options, it gives you freedom, and it gives you power to choose your future when you treat it with respect, when you believe you're worthy of it. And when you tie it to a greater purpose, it stops running from you and starts running toward you. You become the source, not the seeker. You become the example, not the exception, and you become a person who no longer waits for wealth, but welcomes it, because you've aligned your belief and your purpose with who you are and who you are becoming. Your mindset shapes your financial reality, because the way you think about money influences how you attract, handle, and grow it. Every financial decision you make starts in your mind. If your thoughts are rooted in fear, doubt, or scarcity, you will find yourself constantly struggling to get ahead. But if your thoughts are grounded in belief, confidence, and abundance, you begin to attract opportunities that align with those beliefs. This is not just theory, it's how your inner world shapes your outer experience. People often focus only on strategies, tools, or income sources, but the real breakthrough comes when you shift how you think. A poor mindset will sabotage even the best strategy, while a wealthy mindset can turn even the smallest opportunity into massive success. If you believe that money is hard to get, or that you don't deserve it, or that there's never enough, those beliefs will block your financial growth even if you work hard. Most people don't realize that they are stuck in mental patterns inherited from childhood or absorbed from their environment. If you grew up hearing phrases like money doesn't grow on trees, or rich people are selfish, or we can't afford that, you probably internalize the belief that money is scarce, or that wanting more is wrong. These unconscious beliefs play on a loop in the background and silently guide your financial decisions. You may pass up opportunities because you don't think you're ready, or you may undercharge for your work because you don't believe in your value, or you may constantly feel guilty spending on yourself even when it's for your growth. This is the power of mindset. It dictates what you allow yourself to receive and keep. If your self-image doesn't match the wealth you want to attract, you will keep pushing it away without even realizing it. To change your financial life, you must first change your mental patterns. Start paying attention to the way you speak about money and success. Are you using words that reflect abundance or lack? Are you focusing on problems or possibilities? Are you talking more about what you don't have than what you do? When you speak from a place of lack, your brain begins to focus on evidence that confirms that belief. And as a result, you miss the opportunities that could actually change your life. But when you speak with belief, when you affirm your worth, when you train your mind to expect good things, you open your awareness to possibilities that were always around you but invisible to a negative mindset. Mindset is not just about thinking positively, it's about training your brain to respond differently to challenges. People with a growth mindset see failure as a lesson, not a defeat. They use setbacks as fuel to get better instead of as reasons to give up. They stay curious, open, and driven. And that resilience helps them move forward even when things are uncertain. If you view every financial challenge as a dead end, you'll keep getting stuck. But if you treat it as feedback, you'll keep growing. This is how wealthy thinkers operate. They don't expect the path to be easy, they expect to overcome what's in the way. Your financial reality is also influenced by the level of responsibility you take. Victim thinking will keep you broke. If you believe your situation is entirely someone else's fault, you give away your power to change it. But when you take full responsibility, you take back control. You stop waiting for someone to rescue you and you start becoming the person Who builds a better future? Responsibility is the bridge between your current mindset and the wealth you want to attract. It means asking, what can I do differently? What habits can I build? What risks am I avoiding? What actions am I delaying? This shift in thinking puts you in the driver's seat. Another important part of mindset is how you see yourself. You will never earn more than you believe you're worth. If your self-image is small, your income will stay small, no matter how much effort you put in. Wealthy people often succeed because they see themselves as valuable. They expect to win. They believe they deserve success and they act accordingly. When you raise your self-image, your actions change. You stop settling for less. You stop accepting disrespect. You stop working for free. You start investing in yourself. You start owning your ideas. You start showing up as someone who deserves wealth, and when you do, money begins to respond. Being a money magnet doesn't mean you sit around hoping for wealth. It means you align your thinking with abundance, so your actions reflect confidence, focus, and belief. You begin to operate from a place of sufficiency instead of desperation. That means you make calm financial decisions. You attract clients because you're not needy. You create products with love, not pressure. You handle rejection without losing momentum. You show up fully even when results are slow because you already see yourself as successful. This energetic shift makes you irresistible to money and opportunities. It also changes the way you handle money. When your mindset is right, you treat money with respect. You don't waste it to impress others. You don't hoard it in fear. You use it to grow. You save with intention. You invest with courage. You give generously because you know more is coming. Money becomes a tool, not a source of stress. You become a good steward of your finances, and the universe responds to those who handle wealth with wisdom. Your beliefs also influence the speed at which you grow. If you believe success has to take years or that it must come through struggle, you'll unconsciously create delays and obstacles. But when you believe that growth can be fast, when you believe that things can align quickly, you start taking bolder action. You trust your intuition more. You move faster. You risk more. And those actions lead to faster results. Your timeline is a reflection of your belief system. You must also protect your mindset. Surround yourself with people who speak abundance, not fear. Read books that stretch your thinking, not just confirm what you already know. Take breaks from noise that drains you. Feed your mind with success stories, examples, strategies, and inspiration. Just as you would train your body, you must train your brain. Every day is an opportunity to strengthen your belief in wealth, your trust in yourself, and your alignment with the life you desire. Mindset is the beginning of every breakthrough. When you change how you think, you change what you see, what you do, and what you attract. Your thoughts become habits, your habits become results, and your results create your financial reality. The wealth you want starts in the mind of the person you are becoming. That person is already inside you. Let your thoughts rise to meet the life you desire. Wealth begins with rewriting your inner money script, because the beliefs you hold about money are often the silent authors of your financial life. Long before you ever earned a paycheck or opened a bank account, you were absorbing messages about money from your surroundings. These messages became the script that plays in the background of your mind, influencing your decisions, your emotions, and your sense of what's possible. Most people are unaware of the money script they're following, yet they live out its consequences daily. If your script tells you that money is evil, that you'll never have enough, or that wealth is only for certain people, then no matter how hard you work or how many chances you get, you will sabotage your success because your internal script does not support abundance. To attract wealth, you must challenge and rewrite these outdated narratives. Your money script is formed early in life through what you hear, observe, and experience. If you watched your parents argue about bills, you may have linked money with stress. If you grew up hearing things like "we can't afford that" or "people like us don't get rich," you may have internalized the belief that wealth is beyond your reach. If money was a source of shame, guilt, or fear in your household, those feelings can become the emotional filter through which you view all financial situations. These beliefs get buried in your subconscious and influence your behavior without you even knowing it. You may procrastinate on financial decisions, avoid looking at your bank account, undercharge for your work, or overspend to feel momentary relief. These actions are not random. They are patterns shaped by your inner script. Rewriting that script begins with awareness. Start paying attention to how you feel and think about money in different situations. When you get a bill, do you feel anxious when someone talks about success? Do you feel envious or inspired? When you receive money, do you feel guilty or grateful? These emotional reactions are clues to the beliefs you've internalized. Once you recognize a pattern, you can begin to question it. Ask yourself whether that belief is actually true or just something you accepted without choice. Challenge it like you would challenge a lie told by someone else. Replace thoughts like "I'm bad with money" or "I never have enough" with new truths, like "I'm learning to manage money better" or "money is a tool I can use wisely." These small shifts matter because your brain begins to form new connections every time you repeat a new belief. This process of mental rewiring takes time and repetition. You've been running the old script for years, so don't expect the new one to take hold overnight. But with consistency, you can create a foundation for lasting change. Use affirmations that reflect the beliefs you want to embody. Speak them aloud. Write them down. Visualize yourself living with financial ease. Feel the emotions of confidence, security, and abundance even if your circumstances haven't changed yet. Your brain does not know the difference between reality and repeated imagination. When you train it to focus on abundance instead of lack, it begins to look for evidence of that abundance in your life. You notice opportunities you once overlooked. You make decisions from a place of power, not panic. Your inner script also affects how much wealth you allow yourself to receive and keep. Many people unconsciously limit their income or success because it feels unfamiliar or uncomfortable. If your script says that being rich will make others hate you, you might hold yourself back to stay accepted. If you believe you have to work yourself into exhaustion to earn money, you'll resist ease and flow. If you were taught that wanting more is selfish, you might feel shame for desiring a better life. These beliefs are heavy. They keep you in cycles of struggle, even when your outer efforts are strong. To become a true money magnet, you must give yourself full permission to want, receive, and keep wealth without guilt or fear. Another important aspect of rewriting your money script is healing your past financial experiences. If you've been through debt, loss, or financial betrayal, those wounds can shape your beliefs about money and your self-worth. You might think you're irresponsible or unlucky or that you'll never recover. But your past does not define your future unless you keep repeating it. Acknowledge what happened. Forgive yourself for mistakes. Learn from them. Choose to see those experiences as lessons, not life sentences. Every financially successful person has faced setbacks. What makes them different is that they chose to grow from them instead of shrinking in shame. As you build your new money script, surround yourself with messages and people that support it. Read books that expand your perspective. Listen to stories of people who overcame financial struggles. Engage in conversations about money that feel empowering, not draining. Protect your mental environment like you would your physical one. Just as you wouldn't keep junk in your living space, don't keep junk thoughts in your mind. Your mental environment must be rich before your bank account can be. The more you rewrite your script, the more your identity begins to shift. You stop seeing yourself as a struggler and start seeing yourself as a builder, a creator, a receiver. This shift is subtle but powerful. It influences how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you make choices, and those choices begin to produce different results. You attract clients who value you. You find ways to increase your income. You become more intentional with spending. You feel in control, and slowly, your outer reality begins to match your inner transformation. This is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about aligning your inner world with the reality you want to create. When your thoughts support abundance, your actions become more effective. When your beliefs support wealth, your energy becomes magnetic. You no longer chase money. You become someone money is drawn to because you are clear, confident, and aligned. This is the foundation of being a money magnet. It starts with a single choice to no longer accept the script you were handed and to begin writing a new one that reflects who you truly are and what you're ready to receive. Gratitude is a magnet for abundance because it shifts your focus from what is lacking in your life to what is already present and powerful. When you are grateful, you signal to your mind and to the universe that you recognize value. That recognition creates more space for value to flow into your life. Most people spend so much time complaining about what they don't have that they block themselves from seeing what's already working. This mindset of lack creates frustration, and frustration repels opportunities. But when you train your mind to see the good even in small things, you raise your vibration and align with the energy of abundance. Gratitude is not just a nice feeling, it is a frequency that attracts more of what you appreciate. Many people believe they will feel grateful once they become successful or once they have money. But the truth is that you become successful when you begin to practice gratitude first. Gratitude is the foundation of wealth energy. It turns your attention away from fear and toward faith. It opens your eyes to possibilities that were invisible to a complaining mind. When you wake up and give thanks for the opportunities you have, the skills you possess, and the people in your life who support you, you enter the day with a sense of inner wealth. And that inner wealth reflects outward. It affects how you speak, how you carry yourself, how you treat others, and how you respond to challenges. Gratitude also expands your capacity to receive. If you are not grateful for what you already have, you are telling life that what has been given is not enough. This energy closes the door to more. But when you are thankful even for the small income, the limited resources, or the early stages of progress, you open the door wider for growth. The universe recognizes appreciation and responds by sending more to be grateful for. It's a simple but powerful principle. What you appreciate appreciates. If you appreciate your money, your time, your ideas, they begin to increase. But if you ignore them, criticize them, or take them for granted, they diminish. Being a money magnet means being emotionally aligned with wealth. Gratitude helps you stay in that alignment. Even when your financial situation is not perfect, you can still choose to focus on what's working. You can still find things to be grateful for. That choice creates emotional strength. It keeps you out of desperation. It grounds you in confidence. And when you're not desperate, you make better decisions. You're not rushing. You're not panicking. You're not operating from fear. Instead, you're moving with calm intention. And that calmness attracts better opportunities and better people. Gratitude also heals your relationship with money. Many people feel tension, guilt, or shame around money. They've been taught that it's bad to want more or that they don't deserve it. But when you begin to give thanks for the money you have and the money you receive, no matter how small, you start creating a new emotional connection to it. You begin to see money as something good, something helpful, something you are allowed to welcome. This healing creates space for more money to come in. It shifts you from resistance to receptiveness, from worry to trust. The practice of gratitude is simple but requires intention. It means starting your day with appreciation instead of anxiety. It means pausing throughout your day to recognize what's going well. It means ending your day by counting your blessings, not your problems. This practice rewires your brain. It creates new neural pathways that naturally lean toward positivity, optimism, and abundance. Over time, it becomes your default setting. And when that happens, your energy becomes magnetic. People want to work with you. They feel better around you. They trust you. They're drawn to your presence. That's the power of living in gratitude. Gratitude also gives you perspective. It reminds you that even in hard times, there are lessons, there is growth, and there is still something to honor. When you go through challenges and still find reasons to be thankful, you build resilience. You become emotionally strong. And strength is attractive. It tells the universe you can handle more. It tells others you're reliable. It tells yourself that you are not a victim. This kind of mindset is rare, and that's why it stands out. It becomes a silent advantage in everything you do. As you grow in your financial journey, gratitude will keep you grounded. It will stop you from chasing money out of fear. It will help you enjoy the process, not just the outcome. Many people get rich and still feel poor inside because they never develop the habit of appreciation. They are always chasing the next goal, the next win, the next number. But when you're grateful, you're not just chasing, you're also receiving. You're not just reaching, you're also recognizing. This balance brings peace, and peace is part of true wealth. Gratitude also multiplies your creative energy. When you feel good, you think better. Ideas come more easily. You're more open to experimenting, to taking risks, to collaborating. You're more productive because you're not stuck in negativity. You're inspired, and inspiration leads to innovation. Innovation leads to income. Your best ideas don't come from stress, they come from alignment. Gratitude puts you in that alignment. There's also a spiritual dimension to gratitude. It connects you to something bigger than yourself. It reminds you that you are supported, that life is working for you, not against you, that even when things seem uncertain, you can still trust. The sense of connection brings a calm confidence that cannot be shaken by external events. And this spiritual confidence is deeply magnetic. It allows you to walk into rooms with quiet power, to speak with authority, to negotiate with assurance, to lead with clarity. To become a money magnet, you must choose to see what's already good in your life, not because everything is perfect, but because that choice strengthens you. It prepares you to receive more. It makes you ready for expansion. Every day that you practice gratitude, you are tuning your energy to abundance, and abundance flows where it is welcomed, honored, and celebrated. Gratitude is the signal that tells life you are ready for more. Clarity of purpose attracts financial flow, because when you know exactly what you want and why you want it, your thoughts, energy, and actions align in one powerful direction. Many people desire money, but very few know what they truly want to do with it. They say they want to be rich or successful, but their vision is vague. Without clarity, energy gets scattered. When your purpose is unclear, you spend time chasing distractions, second-guessing decisions, or following trends that don't serve you. But when your purpose is clear, you become focused, decisive, and intentional. Money begins to flow to you, not by chance, but because you've become a magnet for opportunities that align with your direction. Purpose gives your financial journey meaning. It turns money from just a goal into a tool. You are no longer working just to survive or impress others. You are working towards something bigger, something that inspires and drives you. This kind of energy is magnetic. People can feel it. Clients trust it. Partners want to be a part of it. Investors believe in it. You stop attracting random chances and start attracting aligned opportunities. Financial flow is not just about numbers. It's about alignment, and alignment begins with purpose. When you're clear on your purpose, your mind stops entertaining distractions. You stop wasting money on things that don't matter. You stop chasing every shiny object that promises quick success. You become grounded in what matters most to you. Whether it's building a business, supporting your family, giving back to your community, or living a life of freedom, clarity helps you filter every decision through your ultimate why. You begin to spend with purpose, invest with strategy, and work with intention. Every step becomes more powerful because it's guided by a deeper vision. Clarity also removes internal resistance. Many people have the skills and opportunities to create wealth, but they stay stuck because deep down they're confused about what they want. Confusion creates hesitation, and hesitation creates missed chances. But clarity breeds confidence. It gives you permission to act boldly. You don't need to wait for perfect conditions because you already know where you're headed. Even when challenges show up, you stay committed. You bounce back faster because your purpose keeps you focused on the bigger picture. This consistency leads to momentum, and momentum attracts financial growth. Money follows purpose because purpose creates value. When you're driven by something meaningful, you naturally offer more value to others. You go the extra mile. You put more care into your work. You become someone who solves problems instead of complaining about them. And money always flows to those who create solutions. Purpose transforms your work from something you do to earn a living into something you do to create impact. And the market always rewards impact. Whether you're selling a product, offering a service, or sharing a message, the more purpose you bring to your actions, the more magnetic they become. Having a clear purpose also helps you build trust. People want to support those who know where they're going. Whether you're asking for a loan, presenting a business idea, pitching a client, or leading a team, clarity makes you credible. When you speak with conviction about what you're building and why, others feel that certainty. They want to invest in your vision. They want to be part of your journey. That trust opens doors to partnerships, funding, collaboration, and long-term Success, trust is currency, and clarity is what earns it. Purpose also fuels resilience. The path to wealth is not always smooth. There will be setbacks, delays, and moments of doubt. But when your goal is tied to something deeper than just money, you don't give up easily. You keep going not just because you want to succeed, but because you're pulled by something meaningful. That internal pull is stronger than external pressure. It keeps you steady when things get tough. And resilience is a key quality of every money magnet. Wealthy people don't avoid challenges, they're just too committed to their purpose to be stopped by them. Your purpose also helps. You say no. Saying no is a powerful skill in wealth building. When you're unclear, you say yes to everything. You overcome it. You spread yourself thin. You chase things that don't align, but clarity gives you boundaries. It allows you to focus your time, energy, and money on what matters most. You stop leaking your power. You protect your focus. You operate like someone who respects their mission, and that respect attracts results. Clarity also activates your creativity. When you know what you want to create or contribute, your mind begins looking for ways to do it better. You become solution-oriented. You start thinking in terms of possibilities instead of problems. You innovate. You connect ideas. You come up with strategies that align with your vision. Creativity is essential for growth and wealth. It leads to unique ideas, better systems, and stronger connections. And when creativity is guided by purpose, it becomes unstoppable. Another benefit of clarity is peace. When you're not clear, you constantly compare yourself to others. You get lost in what everyone else is doing. But when your vision is clear, you stay in your lane. You stop competing and start creating. You stop worrying about timelines and start trusting your process. That inner peace gives you power. It makes you calm under pressure. It helps you enjoy the journey, and enjoyment is part of abundance. You're not just making money, you're building a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. You also begin to attract people and opportunities that match your vision. When you're clear about your purpose, you radiate a certain energy. You speak with direction. You move with purpose. And that energy draws the right people into your orbit. People who want to support you, hire you, join you, or help you grow. Opportunities that align with your goals begin to show up. Resources become easier to access. Things begin to flow. Not because life got easier, but because you got clear. Financial flow is not accidental. It follows the path of purpose. When you define that purpose and stay committed to it, your life begins to shift. You stop chasing money and start attracting it. You stop surviving and start building. You stop wandering and start creating with intention. Clarity becomes your superpower. It becomes the silent force behind every success, every opportunity, and every breakthrough. With clarity of purpose, you become a true magnet for wealth because your energy, your vision, and your actions all work together in harmony. Wealth follows responsibility, not recklessness, because money is not just about how much you attract, but how well you manage what you receive. Many people focus only on increasing income, but ignore how they handle the money they already have. This imbalance creates frustration, because no matter how much they earn, they still feel like it's never enough. The truth is that wealth is not built by chance, it is built by discipline, awareness, and consistent responsibility. When you treat money with care and attention, it grows. When you treat it with neglect and impulsiveness, it disappears. Being a money magnet requires more than just desire, it requires stewardship. The universe responds to those who are ready not just to receive wealth, but to manage it wisely. Responsibility means knowing exactly where your money goes. It means tracking your spending, understanding your habits, and being honest about your financial situation. Many people avoid looking at their bank account or ignore their bills because they feel overwhelmed or ashamed. But avoidance is a form of recklessness. It allows problems to grow in the dark. Responsibility brings everything into the light. It may be uncomfortable at first, but awareness is power. When you see the truth, you can change it. You can begin to make smarter choices, adjust your behavior, and plan for your future. Every financially successful person has learned this skill. They don't run from money, they face it and lead it. Wealth also grows through intentional decision-making. Recklessness shows up as emotional spending, unnecessary debt, and chasing short-term pleasure over long-term gain. When you act without thinking or spend to impress others or buy out of boredom or insecurity, you disconnect from your goals. These actions drain your resources and your confidence. But when you pause before spending, ask if this aligns with your vision and choose with purpose, you take back your power. Responsibility is not about restriction, it's about direction. It means you are guiding your money rather than letting your impulses guide you. Being responsible with money also means setting boundaries. You learn to say no to what doesn't serve your future. You stop loaning money to people who never repay. You stop saying yes to financial commitments you can't afford. You stop trying to prove your worth through what you own. These boundaries protect your peace and your progress. They allow you to use your energy and money for what truly matters. Recklessness often comes from a desire to be liked or to escape discomfort. But real wealth is not built on approval or avoidance. It is built on clarity and self-respect. Responsibility means building habits that support growth, saving regularly even if the amount is small, budgeting your income, planning your expenses, and reviewing your financial goals all contribute to wealth over time. These habits may not feel exciting, but they create stability and momentum. Reckless people often chase big wins, but neglect small disciplines. They want overnight success, but ignore daily responsibility. Yet it is the small, consistent actions that compound into real financial strength. Just as you wouldn't plant seeds and expect a harvest the next day, you can't expect wealth without daily nurturing. Another aspect of responsibility is learning to invest wisely. Recklessness in investing shows up as gambling on trends, taking advice from unqualified people, or jumping into opportunities without research. Responsible investors take time to understand where their money is going, what the risks are, and how the investment aligns with their goals. They seek knowledge, ask questions, and stay patient. They don't let hype or fear make decisions for them. This thoughtful approach creates sustainable returns. When you handle money with this level of care, money begins to trust you. Opportunities flow more easily because you've shown you can manage them. Responsibility also includes emotional maturity. Many people use money to soothe pain, fill voids, or prove something to others. This creates a toxic cycle of earning and wasting. But when you become aware of your emotional triggers and learn to respond instead of react, you shift from recklessness to mindfulness. You learn to sit with discomfort instead of spending it away. You learn to value inner peace over outer appearances. This emotional stability reflects in your financial life. You make clearer decisions. You feel more in control, and you stop leaking energy and money through unhealthy patterns. Being responsible also means having a long-term vision. Recklessness is short-sighted. It focuses on the next purchase, the next thrill, the next escape. But responsibility looks ahead. It plans for the future. It creates a safety net. It builds for the next generation. People who create lasting wealth think in decades, not just days. They understand that every financial decision today echoes into tomorrow. This mindset of vision brings discipline and purpose. You start to value your time more, your efforts more, your money more. And in return, life rewards you with growth. When you show that you can handle small amounts with wisdom, you invite more into your life. This is a universal principle. Just as a business owner would not promote an employee who can't manage small tasks, life does not promote those who are careless with what they already have. But when you handle your current money with care, you prove you are ready for more. Responsibility is a signal of readiness. It says, I am trustworthy, I am prepared, I am committed. That energy draws in more abundance because it aligns with stability and strength. Responsibility is also contagious. When you become disciplined with your money, the people around you start to shift too. You inspire others to be more mindful, more intentional, more focused. You create an atmosphere of growth. You attract partnerships, opportunities, and support systems that respect and match your level of commitment. Recklessness often isolates, but responsibility connects. It creates trust, and trust is the foundation of every great relationship, including your relationship with money. You don't have to be perfect to be responsible. You just have to be willing to learn, grow, and adjust. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, clarity over chaos, and purpose over pressure, you are practicing financial responsibility. And with every responsible choice, you build a foundation for lasting wealth. You become a person who doesn't just attract money, but sustains it, multiplies it, and uses it to create impact. Wealth follows that kind of energy because it knows it will be protected, nourished, and expanded in the hands of someone who respects its power. Giving opens the doors to receiving because it shifts your energy from scarcity to abundance and aligns you with the natural flow of wealth. When you give freely without fear or expectation, you demonstrate that you trust there is more than enough to go around. This trust opens up emotional and energetic space in your life for more to come in. Money is not just a tool, it is also an energy that responds to the way you treat it. If you hoard it in fear or grip it tightly because you think you will run out, you are operating from lack. But when you give with joy from a place of purpose and gratitude, you operate from fullness, and fullness attracts more. Many people believe that giving means losing something, but true giving is an act of expansion, not depletion. When you give value, love, time, kindness, money, or support, you activate a powerful signal that says, I have more than enough and I'm willing to share it. This energy draws abundance back to you in ways that are often unexpected. The act of giving aligns you with generosity, and life tends to mirror your energy back to you. Giving is a declaration that you are not afraid of running out, and the universe responds by ensuring you are continually replenished. Giving is also one of the most direct ways to build your self-worth. When you give without strings attached, you affirm your ability to contribute and impact others. You stop seeing yourself as someone who always needs help and begin to see yourself as someone who has something valuable to offer. This shift in identity changes how you see the world and how the world sees you. You become a person of value, and value always attracts wealth. People trust those who give. They remember those who help. They want to support those who uplift. And that goodwill turns into opportunities, resources, and partnerships that flow back to you. Giving also breaks the grip of greed and self-centeredness that can block abundance. When money becomes only about you, it becomes harder to hold on to. Wealth wants to move and grow, and it grows most freely in the hands of people who use it to benefit more than just themselves. When you give to others, whether through charity, acts of kindness, or generous service, you become a channel, not a container. You let wealth flow through you, and in doing so, you invite it to return. It's a law of circulation that what you release with good intention comes back to you multiplied. Generosity builds connection, and connection is a form of wealth. Every time you give, you create a bridge between yourself and someone else. These connections are more valuable than most people realize. A kind act today could lead to a friendship, a collaboration, a referral, or an unexpected favor in the future. Giving builds social capital and emotional equity. It strengthens your network. And when your network grows, your opportunities grow. You never know who is watching, who is being touched by your actions, or who may one day be in a position to help you because of the seeds you planted through generosity. Giving also trains your mind to see abundance instead of lack. When you give regularly, you begin to notice how much you already have. You become aware of your blessings instead of your problems. You focus on contribution rather than consumption. This shift is powerful because it puts you in an energetic state of overflow, and from that state you attract more with ease. People who give are usually happier, more confident, and more fulfilled because they're focused on what they can offer rather than what they're missing. And that mindset is deeply magnetic. Giving doesn't always mean giving money. You can give time, encouragement, ideas, knowledge, or simply presence. What matters is the spirit in which you give. Are you giving from love or obligation, from trust or fear, from a desire to uplift or to control? The energy behind your giving shapes what returns to you. When you give sincerely without expecting a specific return, you open yourself to receive from unexpected directions. The return may not always come from the person or place you gave to, but it will come. Life finds a way to restore balance to generous hearts. There's also a psychological shift that happens when you give. You move from being a consumer of life to a creator. You stop asking, what can I get, and start asking, what can I offer? That shift makes you a leader in your own life. It raises your standards, your vision, and your confidence. You begin to expect more, not because you're entitled, but because you've learned how to be a source of value. And when you expect more, you receive more. Not out of luck, but because you've become the kind of person who naturally attracts more. Giving also dissolves fear. Fear says, if I give, I won't have enough. Faith says, when I give, I make room for more. Every time you choose to give, you prove to yourself that you are bigger than fear. You reinforce a mindset of trust, and trust is one of the foundations of abundance. You trust that the universe supports you, that money is meant to flow, and that you are capable of creating more whenever needed. That trust becomes a calm confidence that influences every part of your financial life. To be a money magnet, you must become a giver, not just a taker. You must train yourself to live in the energy of overflow. You must release the belief that having more means holding tightly, and instead adopt the belief that having more means sharing wisely. You begin to use your resources as tools for impact. You create a rhythm of circulation that keeps wealth moving through your life. And you find that the more you give, the more open your life becomes to receive, not because giving is a transaction, but because it transforms who you are into someone who naturally welcomes more. Giving creates space. It releases the grip of fear. It builds trust. It aligns you with flow. And it connects you to people and opportunities that open doors. The wealth you desire is often waiting on the other side of your willingness to give. When you choose generosity, you are saying yes to a life of meaning, impact, and abundance. Giving opens the door, but receiving is what walks through. Your environment reflects your readiness to receive, because the space you live and work in is a mirror of your internal beliefs and energy. If your physical surroundings are filled with clutter, disorder, or neglect, that often signals a deeper level of mental confusion, emotional heaviness, or lack of clarity. On the other hand, a clean, organized, and intentionally designed environment shows you are prepared, focused, and open to new opportunities. The energy of wealth does not flow where chaos and stagnation dominate. It flows where there is space, direction, and purpose. Your environment is not separate from your abundance journey. It is a silent but powerful partner in either attracting or repelling money and success. When you walk into a room that feels peaceful, clean, and inspiring, your mind immediately becomes more open and creative. You feel lighter, more energized, and ready to take action. That is because your surroundings are constantly speaking to your subconscious. A messy environment whispers confusion. A neglected one whispers unworthiness. A disorganized space whispers distraction. But a well-kept space with intention and care whispers clarity, respect, and readiness. These messages affect the way you think and behave. And since wealth is a result of mindset and behavior, your environment plays a direct role in whether you invite more into your life or push it away. Creating an environment that supports wealth doesn't mean having luxury furniture or expensive decor. It means having a space that reflects who you are becoming. If you want to attract success, your environment should make you feel successful. If you want to attract opportunities, your environment should make you feel ready to receive and respond. That might mean having a desk that's always clear and organized so you can think and create clearly. It might mean having a space where you can work without distraction, a space where you can rest and recharge fully, or a space where your goals are visible to remind you of your direction. Every detail should serve a purpose in keeping you aligned with your vision. Environment also includes the people you surround yourself with. If you are constantly around people who complain about money, fear success, or settle for less, that energy becomes part of your internal environment. You begin to adopt the same limitations without even realizing it. But when you are around people who think big, take responsibility, and believe in abundance, your own energy begins to rise. You feel supported, challenged, and inspired. The conversations you have shape your mindset, and your mindset shapes your results. If you want to attract more into your life, you must evaluate not only your physical space, but your social space. Both are reflections of your standards and your self-worth. Another important part of environment is how you treat the things you already have. If you want more, but you don't take care of what you currently own, you are sending a signal that you're not truly ready for more. Respect invites more respect. If your car is always messy, your clothes always wrinkled, your workspace always chaotic, that energy bleeds into your habits and decisions. But when you treat your belongings with care, even if they are simple or few, you affirm that you are someone who honors what they've been given. That energy expands into how you treat money, time, relationships, and opportunities. And that is the energy that attracts wealth. Your environment also plays a big role in your daily habits. It either supports your growth or makes it harder. If your space is full of distractions, temptations, or noise, it becomes difficult to focus, create, or stay on track. But if your space is arranged to support productivity, peace, and progress, it becomes easier to stay in alignment. Something as simple as having a specific place where you review your finances, journal your goals, or practice gratitude can reinforce your identity as someone who is serious about wealth. Small environmental changes often lead to powerful internal shifts because they create new patterns and routines that reinforce your values. Visual cues in your environment are also powerful tools for attraction. Seeing affirmations on your wall, your goals written on a board, or a vision board that reflects your desires can keep your mind focused on what you want to receive. Your brain responds to repetition and imagery. When you are constantly exposed to visual reminders of your future self, you begin to act in ways that align with that version of you. Your decisions become more intentional. Your energy becomes more consistent, and that consistency begins to create momentum. Your environment becomes a silent coach, always reminding you of who you are becoming. It is also important to declutter regularly. When you hold on to things that no longer serve you, old clothes, broken items, unread papers, emotional baggage, you create energetic weight. That weight slows you down and keeps you tied to the past. Letting go is a way of creating space for new. It is a declaration that you trust in your ability to replace what you release with something better. Wealth is always moving. If your life is filled to the brim with outdated possessions or toxic people or unfinished tasks, there's no room for new blessings to enter. Decluttering is not just about cleanliness. It's about alignment. It's about signaling that you are ready for what's next. Your environment can either drain you or empower you. It can make you feel overwhelmed or it can inspire clarity. It can reflect fear or reflect faith. If you look around and see disorganization, heaviness, or disconnection, don't judge yourself. Use that awareness as a chance to shift. Start small. Clean one drawer, rearrange one corner, remove one distraction. Each shift sends a signal to yourself and to life that you are preparing for increase. And life responds to preparation with opportunity. Creating an environment that attracts wealth is not about perfection. It's about intention. It's about choosing to live in a way that supports your goals, reflects your values, and energizes your journey. When you care for your environment, you are caring for your future. You are honoring what you already have and preparing for what is coming. You are showing up as someone who expects more and who is willing to create the space for it to arrive. And that is what it means to be truly ready to receive. Your environment tells the story of your readiness before you say a single word. When you align it with your highest self, you become magnetic to the life you want. Surrounding yourself with inspiration multiplies your success because the energy and environment you immerse yourself in shape the thoughts you think, the beliefs you hold, and the actions you take. Inspiration feeds your ambition, fuels your discipline, and keeps your vision alive even when motivation fades. When you are surrounded by ideas, stories, people, images, and environments that reflect growth, possibility, and greatness, your own sense of what's possible expands. Your mind opens up to new levels of thinking. Your standards rise. You stop settling for less and start expecting more. Inspiration is not just a feeling, it is a trigger that activates belief. And belief is the foundation of all achievement. Many people underestimate the power of their surroundings. They assume success is only about strategy or talent, but the truth is your external environment deeply influences your internal world. If you spend your time around negativity, doubt, and limitation, it seeps into your mindset. If your conversations are filled with complaints and fear, you begin to think in small cycles. But when you intentionally place yourself in environments that spark curiosity, joy, creativity, and possibility, your energy begins to shift. You begin to see more opportunities because your mind is being stretched by what it is exposed to. Daily, you start to act in alignment with what you see and what you feel. Inspiration can come from many sources. Books that teach you how others have overcome challenges and built their dreams. podcasts that share strategies and wisdom, art that stirs something in your soul, music that lifts your spirit, conversations with driven people who see life as a series of possibilities instead of problems. Your sources of inspiration can be simple or elaborate, but they must be intentional. You must curate your mental diet the same way you curate your physical diet. If you want to grow, you must feed your mind with things that strengthen you, not drain you. Being a money magnet is not just about income, it's about inner alignment with wealth and expansion. When you're inspired, you carry a different energy. Your ideas become bolder, your courage becomes stronger, and your confidence becomes more grounded. That kind of energy is attractive. It draws people to you. It creates opportunities because people can sense your enthusiasm and conviction. People want to support those who are alive with purpose. They trust people who are lit up from within. Inspiration lights that fire. Inspiration also protects you from burnout. Success requires effort, but effort without purpose eventually leads to exhaustion. When you're inspired, your work feels lighter. Even hard days feel meaningful because you're connected to a bigger picture. That connection keeps you going when things get difficult. It reminds you why you started. It helps you push past fear and procrastination. It gives you the energy to keep building even when the results haven't shown up yet. Inspiration becomes a fuel source that never runs dry as long as you keep renewing it with the right surroundings. Your environment should challenge you to grow, not let you stay small. Being around people who are content with mediocrity can make you shrink to fit in. But being around people who aim higher, who think differently, who dream louder, makes you want to rise. They don't just inspire you with their words, but with their lives. Their actions set a new standard. They remind you of what's possible. They hold up a mirror to your potential, and that reflection pushes you to level up. Sometimes inspiration means letting go of what no longer serves you. That could be relationships that drain you, environments that limit you, or habits that numb you. To become magnetic to wealth, you must be willing to release anything that dulls your spirit, anything that lowers your frequency or clouds your vision. This can be uncomfortable, but it's necessary. You cannot stay inspired in spaces that make you feel heavy. You need space that breathes life into your goals, not doubt. And you need people who speak possibility, not limitation. Your space matters too. A room filled with clutter, chaos, or lifelessness can dull your energy. But a space that is clean, uplifting, and filled with reminders of your vision can energize you. Surround your workspace with quotes that move you, photos that remind you of your why, and items that make you feel powerful. These small details speak to your subconscious. They tell your mind you are serious about success. They keep your focus sharp. They help you stay connected to the future you are building. Inspiration is also found in movement. Stagnant routines create stagnant thinking, but new experiences challenge your brain to adapt and grow. Travel to new places, even if it's just a different part of your city. Attend events with people outside your normal circles. Try new things that stretch you. Every time you step into the unfamiliar, you invite inspiration. You tell life you're open to new possibilities, and life responds by giving you more to work with. Gratitude can also amplify inspiration. When you start your day with appreciation, you train your mind to notice beauty, progress, and growth. You begin to see the good even in the challenges. This mindset shift opens the door for more inspiration to come in. You see lessons instead of losses. You see opportunities instead of obstacles. And this way of thinking becomes a magnet for success. Surrounding yourself with inspiration is not about escaping reality. It's about enhancing your reality. It's about intentionally creating an atmosphere that lifts you higher. It's about choosing what you allow into your mind, your space, and your circle. It's about realizing that you are the architect of your world, and the energy you live in is the energy you create with. When you fill that world with light, strength, vision, and purpose, you multiply your success not by luck but by design. You don't need to wait for inspiration to find you. You can create it. You can cultivate it. You can live in it. And when you do, success becomes not just something you chase, but something you naturally attract, because a mind filled with inspiration becomes a magnet for ideas and action, and wealth follows those who act with belief, passion, and intention. You are the magnet. Money follows identity, because who you believe you are shapes every thought you think, every choice you make, and every result you experience. Money is not just attracted to effort or strategy, it is deeply drawn to energy, and belief in your core identity is the source of both. If you see yourself as someone worthy, capable, and aligned with abundance, your actions naturally follow that belief. But if you secretly believe you're not good enough, not smart enough, or not meant to be wealthy, then no matter how hard you work, you will sabotage your own progress. Your inner identity always sets the limits of what you allow yourself to have. Most people focus on what to do when trying to attract wealth, but doing flows from being. Your identity is the thermostat of your life. If you identify as someone who barely gets by, who struggles with money, who always has to work twice as hard to earn half as much, then your mind will filter reality. To match that identity, you'll make decisions from fear, you'll pass up opportunities that feel too big, and you'll resist change even if it's what you say you want. But if you begin to shift your identity to someone who is confident with money, skilled in creating value, and worthy of financial freedom, then your energy shifts. You begin to take different actions naturally because they feel aligned with who you are becoming. To become a money magnet, you must start within. You must upgrade how you see yourself. This is not about arrogance or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about aligning with the truth that you are capable of more. It's about choosing a new story to live by. Every time you say, "I'm not good with money," or "I can't afford that," or "I'll never be wealthy," you are reinforcing an identity that repels wealth. But every time you say, "I'm learning how to manage money," or "I'm building wealth," or "I deserve to be financially free," you are rewriting your self-image. And over time, that new identity starts to take root and shape your reality. Your identity influences your habits. Someone who sees themselves as financially responsible will save consistently, budget wisely, and invest with clarity. Someone who sees themselves as a mess with money will overspend, avoid planning, and feel anxious every time they think about their finances. Identity drives behavior. If you want lasting change, you must change how you see yourself, not just what you do. When your actions and identity are in alignment, results flow faster and more consistently. You no longer need willpower to stay disciplined because your habits feel natural. They're simply what someone like you does. Money responds to clarity and certainty. When you embody the identity of someone who is already on the path to abundance, your energy carries a sense of purpose and strength. People feel that. Opportunities find you. Resources open up. You stop chasing money and start attracting it because you've become a person who money feels safe and welcome with. Identity is the invisible magnet behind every visible result. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. One of the biggest blocks to financial growth is holding on to an outdated identity. Maybe you grew up in a household where money was always tight, or where people believed wealth was only for the lucky or dishonest. Those beliefs shape identity, and identity shapes destiny. If you don't update those beliefs, you'll unconsciously recreate the same patterns over and over. But you can break the cycle. You can choose to become someone new, someone who believes money is a tool for good, someone who creates value and welcomes success, someone who respects money and uses it wisely. That choice is powerful, and it begins with awareness. Begin by noticing how you speak about money and how you speak about yourself. The words you use reveal the story you're living. Shift your language to match the identity you want to live. From speak as someone who is becoming a magnet for abundance, not someone who is stuck in lack. Affirm who you are becoming. Visualize yourself already living in alignment with that version. Walk, think, and act like that person even before the outer results show up. This is how change begins from the inside out. Your environment also plays a role in shaping your identity. Surround yourself with people who see you as powerful, capable, and abundant. Spend time in spaces that reflect success and order. Read books and listen to content that reinforces a wealthy mindset. These influences strengthen your new identity and help it take root. Identity grows through repetition and environment. The more you immerse yourself in the world of who you want to be, the faster you become it. Money is drawn to leadership and self-trust. When you embody the identity of someone who leads their life with purpose, who takes ownership of their choices, and who believes in their own value, you become magnetic. You no longer look to others for validation. You know your worth. You know what you bring to the table. That certainty speaks louder than any strategy. It shapes how you show up, how you negotiate, how you create, and how you receive. and the world responds to that energy with respect and reward. You are not stuck with the identity you inherited. You can evolve. You can become someone who attracts wealth with ease, not because life suddenly became easier, but because you became more aligned, more focused, and more powerful. Every day is a chance to live in greater alignment with the identity of the person you want to be. Every decision is a vote for that version of you. And the more you choose that version, the more your reality begins to reflect it. Money follows identity, because identity sets the tone for every part of your financial life. Who you believe you are determines what you believe is possible. And what you believe is possible determines what you're willing to pursue. Identity shapes action, and action shapes outcome. If you want to be a money magnet, become the kind of person who is already attracting wealth in thought, energy, and behavior. Align your inner world with the abundance you desire, and your outer world will begin to match. You are the magnet, and the stronger your identity, the stronger your pull.